Let my people go. The final chapter. The gods of Egypt versus the God of covenant. When false power collapses and the true God reveals himself. The Exodus story is not merely about slavery and freedom. It's about authority. It's about who rules, who has power, and who speaks last. When God said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go," he was not negotiating for labor. He was issuing a divine challenge, because Egypt was not just a nation, it was a religious system. And the plagues were not random disasters. They were judgments aimed directly at Egypt's gods, little g. Egypt, a nation of many gods. Egypt believed in hundreds of deities. Gods of the Nile, gods of fertility, gods of light, gods of darkness, gods of life and death. Every aspect of existence had a god. Pharaoh himself was believed to be divine, the living son of Ra. So when Moses stood before Pharaoh, it was not a shepherd versus a king. It was Yahweh versus Egypt's entire spiritual system. The plagues, gods falling one by one. Each plague confronted a specific god. The Nile turns to blood. The Nile was sacred. Hapi, the god of the river, was worshipped as the source of life. God turned their life source into death. The message, I alone give life. Frogs overrun the land. Hequet, the frog-headed goddess of fertility. Frogs were holy until they were unbearable. The message, what you worship will become your burden. Gnats and flies. The priests could not cleanse themselves. Their rituals failed. The message, your religion cannot make you clean. Darkness over Egypt. Ra, the sun god, powerless. For 3 days, Egypt sat in darkness, while Israel had light. The message, I am the true light. The death of the firstborn. Pharaoh's claim to divinity shattered. The heir of Egypt lay dead. The message, no throne outranks mine. The God of covenant reveals himself. Unlike Egypt's gods, Yahweh does not need temples built by hands. He speaks, he acts, he keeps covenant. God repeatedly tells Pharaoh, that you may know that I am the Lord. The plagues were not cruelty, they were revelation. God was revealing his supremacy, his faithfulness, and his commitment to his people. He was saying, I have not forgotten my promise to Abraham. The Passover, the final dividing line. At the climax, God draws a line. Blood on the doorposts. Not Egyptian blood, not Israelite blood. Lamb's blood. Salvation was not by nationality, but by obedience and faith. This was the God of covenant at work. Protection through obedience. Deliverance through sacrifice. And even in judgment, God made a way. The prophetic parallel for today. So hear this carefully. Egypt is not ancient history. Egypt represents systems of power without God, prosperity without righteousness, spirituality without truth. Modern Egypt still exists. They promise security, control, identity, and provision. But when the God of covenant stands up, false gods fall. And just like them, some hearts harden, some systems collapse, and some people are delivered. The message to the remnant. God is still saying, let my people go. Not just from chains, but from allegiances, from false securities, from counterfeit saviors, and from systems that demand worship. The God of covenant does not share his glory. He did not then, and he does not now. The plagues were not about destruction. They were about decision. Who is God? Egypt had many gods, but none could save. Israel had one God, and he delivered them all. And today, that same God still stands, unchanged, unmatched, and undefeated. The gods of Egypt will fall, but the God of covenant remains. I hope you enjoyed this little series on Let My People Go. God bless you.